All right. So this is a hand that clearly people made more difficult than they needed to make. First of all, our partner opens and we have 17 points. This should put you in mind for looking at a slam, right? You're 29, 30 points. We got a strong spade suit. We got some outside controls that are really strong. We got a short suit, unfortunately, in partner suit. But the way you bid it up is fairly simple. One heart, they bid a spade. Now, I know I'm going to game, so I want to use a gadget we call force suit forcing. And this should be used to go to game. Don't use it as a one-round force. You basically just gut all of the things that this bid can do for you. So use it as a force to game. And the priority for each response will be much like the response in new minor forcing, which is because the one heart is ambiguous. We don't know if it's just 4 hearts. We don't know if it's just 6 points. Right? It could be all the rest of the hearts in the deck. It could be all the rest of the points in the deck. Right? So it's ambiguous, the ambiguous major. And that's copyrighted and patented. Don't use it without mentioning my name. One spade. So what we do is we bid the force suit. Now the game force is in place and we can relax. 2 hearts promises 3. So I know we have a heart fit, which is where I want to play this now. And what I want to do is investigate slam. Now, what do I need for a slam? I probably need him to have 2 key cards. Or maybe 1 key card and the queen of hearts. Fortunately, unless he answers my key card request with 2 spades, I'm not going to be able to find out about the queen. So I'm really going to need him to have a couple of key cards to even be thinking further about slam. So why not just go there? And he shows just 1 key card, and now I can sign off at 5 hearts. And I should be happy here. There's no reason not to be. I got a great hand. Now, I think what troubled people, one person made 5 hearts, one went down 5 hearts, others never got there. Somebody even went down at 4 hearts. But the troubling part is if you start to pull trump right now, you'll find out there's a 5-0 split, and it may freak you out, and that might be all you think about for the rest of the hand. But there's a much easier approach to this, right? And that's just what you should do on every hand. On a suit contract, count your losers up, right? And here we know we have a spade loser, potentially another loser, the jack of spades. We have, and then we have these 3 club losers. And obviously in 5 here, your focus must be on getting rid of these club losers. You can dump them on winners in the dummy. Once we play the queen of diamonds, we'll have 2 winners up here. Or we can ruff them. Now, I'm attracted to the ruff immediately because they have 8 clubs, probably not in a big split, and that means I'm going to be able to ruff a couple of them. And if I do this right, I should be able to pitch the 3rd one on a diamond. So, I got a plan. I'm going to ruff my losers and I'm going to dump them. So, if you're following my Pete Hollins, you might think dump, trump, or finesse. What we're going to think is we're going to dump on a diamond, and we are going to trump as many as we can here. Lead is the 5 of spades from length. I'm not sure yet, but we certainly can let it come around. The ace of spades goes up. We now have another winner we can dump on, right? And the spade comes back. Now this is important. We duck this, and we can see that he plays the 2. So North started with 2 spades, right? He led the 5 and then played the 2, so leading from a doubleton. So we can't play spades right now without getting ruffed. But we do get a cheap trick here, and we have 2 winners. Now, like I said, the first thing I want to do on this hand is ruff these clubs. I got losers that must go away. He goes up with the king. Ruff a heart. Play over the queen. Ruff another one. And having gotten this far, everything's looking great. Now, I'm not even sure the king might have grown up, but it doesn't matter to me because I'm going to play these diamonds out. Right? And now I'm at the point where I'm cold for this contract. I've got the top 4 heart tricks, right? And this is the first time I lead a heart, and not until the, what is this, the 8th trick of the hand, do I discover that there is this bad trump split, and it doesn't matter one whit. Now I'm going to lose a heart at this point, but since I took care of all my losers, it doesn't matter, right? So we can make him rough one, or what the hell, we'll just take him out, right? All these good, right? Top tricks here, and of course, because he started with 5 and never had to rough in, it turns out he gets the last trick, but we are making. So I guess my suggestion is to you is that if you focus on what the problem is in the hand and focus on what techniques, what declare techniques you need to use to get rid of that problem. Here I had 3 club losers in a long trump hand. I needed to get rid of them. So I roughed and I dumped, right? I dumped and trumped. And by the time I discover this bad split, it doesn't matter anymore. I don't have enough losers anymore. I don't have enough losers to be concerned. So something to think about. Just basic technique. Unusual 2-no trump is a gadget that lots of people learn early, and I worry that we don't really think it out completely, and I think that might be proven out by the scores in yesterday's game. Unusual 2-no trump shows the 2 lowest suits and promises 5-5. Promises 5-5. The problem is you need to understand your partner, and you must have some sort of understanding of what kind of strength the opening this 2-no trump shows. Some back in the day, it was a preemptive bid or a very, very strong bid, one or the other. If you just had opening values, you finagled a way to show both suits, which is usually not that hard. These days it seems to get used all the time, but I think probably you should be very aware of the colors when you use it. Right? When you make this bid, a lot of times you don't know what kind of power West has. Right? If you make this bid in the 2nd suit, you can also make it in the 4th suit. If you make this bid in the 2nd suit and West has yet to bid, right? If the responder has yet to bid, you could be in trouble. Right? If it turns out they have a great hand and you use 2-no trump, and you're in the red, and your partner has nothing over there and doesn't have even a 3, hopefully a 3-card fit, but if they don't even have that, which will happen, just taking a preference to one of your 2, you could get doubled and you could go down, easily go down 1,100, 1,400. So this is a bid that needs to be very cautiously. It's not a bad idea to use it just just as preemptive or as a very strong bid. But I don't think people use that anymore that way. And certainly people who used 2-no trump yesterday did not do that. The problem then comes around to north, which is, I've got 7, 8, 9, 3, 12 points. If my partner is using this with an opening hand, we could have a game here, because this is not an ordinary 12-point hand. I know that there's a 9-card diamond fit. My partner's promise 5. And I have prime honors and ace in the spades. My partner is going to be short in spades and hearts. My spades could provide pitches for his losers. He could easily be short in hearts. And all that sounds great, except that it could all go the other way just as well. He has 3 small hearts and 2 small hearts, and there's 2 losers there, and he's bidding with 8 points, 9 points, just being preemptive. So we need some way to advance this hand and to look for a possible game here. This is true whether you're playing in match points. It's less dangerous because people are going to be so cautious that a part score might do just fine. But certainly in an imps game or a Swiss match, missing 5 diamonds here would be a tragedy. It could be a huge score against you. So the way we look for a game, let's just talk about the other responses first. 3 clubs or 3 diamonds, in other words, bidding my partner's 2 suits, is simply taking a preference. Right? We've got to do something because we certainly don't want to play 2-no trump, and it's showing no game interest, and that's probably going to be where the auction ends a good portion of the time, and it looks like it did yesterday. If you bid 3-no trump, right? And then that is probably the riskiest bid. Your partner is highly distributional, but you're saying going to game and it's to play. If you bid 4 diamonds or 4 clubs, you are preempting. Okay, so you're gonna find a great match, probably have 5 in that suit, and you're just trying to keep everybody from going further, trying to keep East out of it from a rebid, and it certainly will keep them from a rebid. All right, and 5 diamonds, 5 clubs, just to play. Here I can't really make a game bid. I'm really interested in game, especially since we're in the red, right? So what I do is I bid their suit. Now this is going to carry us to the 4 level, as you'll see. This bid will always carry you to the 4 level. I bid 3 hearts, pass. My partner has to bid clubs, because the 3 hearts is promising a fit, but it's not promising a suit for a fit. Okay, it's not promising which suit the fit is. So he starts by bidding the lower, and then I bid 4 diamonds. This is why it carries us to 4 diamonds. I show the fit, I show game interest. Right? If I was really powerful, I suppose I could just bid 5 diamonds. But now is the only time that partner gets to tell me, yeah, actually I was preempting, right? And then he passes 4 diamonds, and you hope you don't get doubled. However, if he has an opening hand or better, then he's going to bid 5 diamonds, which is what happens here. Right? So that's how you investigate for a game. You use a Q bid of the opening suit. It will carry you to the 4 level because you're not identifying what suit your fit is in. Now the robots have a little fancier system, and I'm sure you can find fancier systems, but this is a straightforward way to look for game after 2 no-trump. As it turns out, we are in great shape, right? Partner has the Queen of Spades for my Ace King. He has this run in clubs, and I have the Jack of Clubs go with it. And our only concerns really are what's going to happen with the diamonds, the diamond suit. Are we going to lose 2 diamonds? Looking at that hand, we're missing the Ace and the Jack. And my primary concern is, where is the Ace? Unfortunately, it's not a 50-50 guess because East opened, right? And that changes the odds. He's more likely to have it. So if he opened with 13 points, and I have 13 in South, that's 26, and in my hand I have 12, right? That's 38 points. So I can actually get rid of the guess altogether. This is not a guess. I'm confident that the Ace of Diamonds must be in South. So when he switches suits here, what I'm going to want to do is get down in North and lead up to the Queen. They're going to get my hope is that's all they get. Really don't have any losers in spades. Really don't need anything. For fun, we'll put the 9 of spades in there and it wins. We'll take it with the 10 because we want to be down here. And I will lead up at the Queen, hoping East will put up the Ace. Right? And it is there. And so now I only have, I can't lose anymore, but I've got the King, Queen. There are only 2 diamonds left, and this hand is now good. Right? Because I have Ace, King, Queen, Jack, and I have Ace, King here. It covers that loser, and I can pull trump with just one more lead. They broke 2-2, right? So this hand is good. Now, people got a couple tables made this 5, which is cold for 5, but nobody bid it. This is how I recommend you bid it. If you don't want to sit down and work out a very fancy system, use 3 hearts as I'm investigating for game. Another way to save this and make it work for you is just agree that, if I use 2 no trump and we're in the red versus white, I'm going to have an opening hand, right? You could also agree just never to use it unless you were preemptive, right? Unless you had a weak hand. Or you were very, very strong and you're going to bid again, all right? So that's the idea. Come to some sort of conclusion. Audrey Grant has a good page on it. I believe that the ACBL toolkit has a good page on it. Do some investigation, come up with a system. There are a lot of different ways to play it. But have an agreement so that you don't miss this game. So we get to the final board for this video, which is board 4. If you play enough club games, you're eventually going to come to this realization that someone is always beating you out by playing 3 no trump, right, instead of 4. An alternative name for match points game. I went dark again. It's a very cloudy day here, bright, partly cloudy, so I get blue sky out the window or clouds. So let's try this. What was I talking about? Right, you go to your club and you bid 4 hearts, you make an extra trick, you're feeling really proud of yourself, and someone has played 3 no trump, making +2, and beats you out. So this comes up in match points. In an imps game, whether it's pairs or whether it is a Swiss game or a knockout game, then it doesn't matter, right? You just want to be in the safest game. You just want to make your contract and you'll be happy. At match points, this can be the difference between a top and a average minus score. So here's a hand that is perfect for looking at this idea. I've got 5, 10, 12, right? 12 to 14 points, 11 to 14 points. We open that minor and we're going to rebid 1 no trump. And we get a heart bid, and it's the ambiguous major. Doesn't actually say that. BBO should actually pay me, and they could use that. Instead, they could say ambiguous major there. 4 plus hearts or 6 plus points, right? All the rest of the hearts in the deck, all the rest of the points in the deck, or just some crappy hand with 4 hearts. Doesn't matter. The rebid is the same. 1 no trump, 12 to 14, balanced. And we get a 2 spade bid. This is a wonderful bid, by the way, this 2 spade bid. It's a reverse by the responder, so we get 5, 4, 5 hearts and 4 spades, and now we know there's a heart fit. But there's a choice here to be made at match points. At imps, we probably just show our 3 hearts. But at match points, you have to think about, well, is my hand going to make as many tricks in match points as it is in a suit contract? Because if you're making the same number of tricks, right, then that you get a 10-point bonus, right? Because in no trump, the first trick is worth 40 and not 30. Right? So if you can make the same number of tricks, you're better off in no trump. Here, what am I going to ruff? Right? I don't have any ruffs, right? And I've got a 5. You've got this 8-card fit. Should play just as good in no trump, and I've got some hearts to go along with it, and I've got the other 2 suits pretty much stopped. So I really think that the right bid is 2 no trumps here. Now, if your partner is wildly distributional, they're going to take it back to a major. Here, partner just bids 3 no trump. Now I'm lying a bit. I'm making a judgment, right? I got a fit for him. I'm just making a judgment. Hey, we're better off in no trump, even if with this heart fit. Now the thing is that if you choose this, then you have to evaluate this hand twice. Once, try to figure out how many hearts they're going to make, right? Because that's going to set your target in no trump. But we have at least 3 spade tricks, and if the king of spades is here, we could have more. We have 4 heart tricks, right? And we have 3 diamond tricks. We have the ace of clubs. So we got lots of tricks. We're going to make 3 no trump. How many do we need to make them? Well, if you're in hearts, you'd be counting your losers up here, right? Once again, the number of spade losers depends on the finesse, and you have a club loser and no diamond losers. You have a pitch on the king of diamonds, so you should be able to get rid of this club, right? If you're playing in a suit contract, right? You win this one, cross the ace of diamonds, come back to the king, play another queen, get rid of that club loser ASAP, right? And then you can knock out the heart, and you can take a shot at that finesse. And if it's working, God bless you. So here it feels like I need to make as many tricks as possible, because this heart contract is probably cold for 5. The queen of clubs is very likely here, so I will probably duck this one, hoping that he continues. He doesn't. Instead, he leads a spade. And right away, I am on the hook. Do I want to, is he leading from the queen or not? So, because I want to take as many tricks as possible, because my plan was always to take a finesse here, I'm going to let it roll. Run over to the queen, and it pays off. right? So, got that. The king is very likely here. Um, and um, and so I can repeat this finesse, but I also need to knock out the ace of hearts, and these are solid. So I think probably what I would do first is try to knock out the king while I keep the transportation in the others. In other words, I'll tackle this project suit first. Now the rest of the hearts are good. The ace took it, right? No more worries about the clubs, and all I'm really thinking about is, can I finesse here? And it was a good finesse. So I got another one. I can do it again. Yep. Do this. I will play off my diamonds. And the hearts are all good. And take this finesse. And if it works, then I'm going to be really a happy man. And it was dead on. And I can just simply claim the rest of the tricks. Now this was the goal, right? To make as many tricks as they were making in hearts, right? Because now we have 10%. That 4 hearts plus 1 is making 650. 660 is topping it by just 10. By recognizing the fact that this flat hand doesn't have any roughs, there's no reason to assume that this hand plays better in hearts based on your hand, right? So you suggest the 2 no trump. If there's wild distribution in your partner's hand, say it's 6 hearts or whatever, then he'll want to play in that instead. But here he's got what he sort of showed, right? 4-5-2-2 hand, and our 660 is a great score.